I'm a freaking nightclub comedian. I'm not freaking Anderson Cooper. Asking people to do the internet 3 years ago, it was a really difficult, like, sell. Now seen as more legitimate, like, media. So thank you, President Trump. You're talking to a guy who pooped his pants on Cumtown. Like, I'm a schmuck.
Adam Friedland is the host of the Adam Friedland Show.
That's right.
Thanks for coming on the show, Adam. How you doing?
So much. Thanks for having me.
How are you enjoying the new show?
I want to. It's not enjoying, right?
You don't enjoy it?
Well, you feel good when something comes out. You just have to keep doing more of them.
Right. So you're not reflecting on like, oh, you're not thinking,
No.
oh, that was a really fun interview or something. This is all
Sometimes
you're toiling.
like, you try something and it works, and you get really excited temporarily.
Okay.
But like the only way to like, I think, be productive is like you have something you think is a good idea, you try it, and then you're like, I'm a fraud, this sucks, and then you fight your way through it, and then you kind of cobble something together, and everything you've ever done you kind of see, and you're like, I would change this and this and this, and then but like the moment you're done with one thing, you just start the next day on the next thing.
Yeah. Keep it moving.
You have to like treat it like you're like going to the accountancy firm, right? It's just like a job.
Right.
If you're like kind of like considering where do things exist in the
But are you considering
in the discourse and zeitgeist? It's just like it does nothing.
So it's just do the work itself. Well, but when you say you treat it like an accountant, are you also looking at the numbers and the data and the money coming in and the views, or are you just purely talking about the editorial
Just
product?
making the show,
the show
yeah.
and doing it as good as possible.
Well, it's just my job to make the show. I'm very lucky that it's my job.
Right.
You know.
Are you going to have any on the mayoral candidates on the show?
I think so. We're talking to Zoran's team, and I would love to have all of them.
So you're not planning to flee New York in anticipation of
No,
Zoran's mayoralship?
I'm rooting for Sharia law because I think that like I could get maybe like an Upper West Side co-op. If all the Debbie Jewishes leave, I'm gonna get a fabulous pre-war. That generation of like, you know, the terrified of Zoran people, they bought their places for like what, 150 grand in like 1992,
yeah.
And now it's like 2.5 million, and their kids are all gone, and they won't freaking sell it. So hopefully this Sharia law will get them.
Just need a little.
Hopefully this freaking Sharia law.
Just a dash of Sharia.
No, I want full.
You want full.
Yeah, I mean, if they all, then the prices will plummet.
It's true.
See, I'm even more Jewish. I'm thinking about the real estate.
He's an Arsenal fan, by the way, Zoran.
He's big time.
Yeah?
I saw tweets from like 2020. During the dark times, when we were 10th, and we were just being humiliated over and over again, we would release a kit after each like terrible humiliation, like a new like kit. And I saw a tweet of his quote tweeting it, being mad about a kit release. And I'm like, it means so much.
You're in the trenches.
It means so much to me that he understands what that is.
So you have representation in this new mayor.
I mean, I'm not. I feel like such a loser that I even care, right? It's a team in London, England. Like I just like, but I think about it so much, and the fact that he's also a loser in the same way as I am. It's Wakanda for me. That's Wakanda.
So new show, just guests wise, I think it's safe to say it's having a pretty extraordinary run. You had Anthony Weiner on, which is my personal favorite character.
Yeah.
And Sarah Jessica Parker, who's great.
He disliked me. I felt like
the amount of times I think he said Jesus Christ in response to one of your questions, I found really delightful.
It was just before we cut it down, it was like a 2.5 hour argument.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like even if he didn't like you, you seem to, and forgive me for this question, have good chemistry with Weiner, Cuomo, like alpha, no bullshit New Yorkers. For some reason, that works well, that dynamic. Have you noticed that at all? Do you feel like those interviews go better than other ones? Yeah,
because I'm like a little bit when someone's being macho, like I'm kind of good I'm a little
puncturing
bit of
that.
a shit head. Yeah. I'm like good with like if they're like like I can break through, I can disarm that.
Right.
And
that yields a better interview.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the same with both of those guys. I think with Weiner, I've just been arguing. Like, I'm in my family, so I've been arguing with Jewish people my whole life. Just and I don't know, stubbornly, but I could tell that both Weiner and myself, like we would just you never apologize. You keep sitting there at the dinner table. That's what I was. That's the training I received in my family.
Like your bane in the
There's a there is some familiarity with like just like just like it felt like my dad and I were like
Right.
arguing about freaking Bill Maher or something, whatever he watched that weekend. Yeah.
What for people that don't know, viewers that might not watch the show, what's the concept of the show? Because it's fairly unique.
It's a talk show. Kind of the goal is to kind of like do something that isn't just another podcast. It's like more produced and cohesive, and we kind of modeled it somewhat after like Dick Cavett in to revive like long form interviews.
Yeah.
Which is like Cavett was able to like talk to people that we thought we knew and were very famous, but like kind of talk to them in a way that they didn't talk publicly very often. And so it's like talk shows are like such a weird, like archaic kind of format. Like,
but at the same time, there's
no
like
real reason for them to exist anymore.
Right. And especially like the late night talk shows are totally useless.
Well, it's just like
they're ad.
You say well, I don't even think they probably lose money at this point.
I mean, the viewership on like a traditional late night show is like 1 million viewers, which is not that much.
Yeah. I think it's just like you say a story about like you just went on vacation, then you say like, okay, what's the movie, and then you play a clip.
Yes.
Yeah.
You give us like, I was in an airplane and somebody said something weird to me, and then you do a bit, and then everyone laughs.
And it was Albert Einstein.
There you go.
But that man was Albert Einstein.
But I feel like there are like late night is very antiquated, but there are a billion interview shows. There are far too many interview shows, including mine. And did you look at that landscape and think, okay, I need to do something different because I can't just be another guy interviewing other people with microphones because that's just so saturated?
I don't really know. I mean, I was on a podcast that was like successful, and then my friend Nick that I did the podcast with, like one of the guys left, Stavros, who's like now incredibly successful, very funny guy, also a friend of mine. And Nick, I was like, I wanted to keep doing the
show. We can say the name of the show. Do I get shadow banned, or should we use it a euphemism?
I don't know.
Village
the
or something?
New York Times, it kind of protected us, like when they were like from hit pieces, because
you couldn't write about it.
They couldn't write it, yeah, because it was such a disgusting name. I think they would say like a podcast whose name we can't even say, like Voldemort kind of thing. Yeah, it was kind of a smart.
But that helped you, yeah.
Yeah. Nick had this idea to like turn it into a current, like public affairs like show, and I was kind of like the least popular one on the podcast. I was kind of like the schmuck, and Nick is like, no, like you have to listen to me, and I kind of owe it
Nice
that to him encouraging me in that way. And I think I was pretty bad at interviewing at first. I didn't know how to do it, and then I kind of like.
How did you learn?
I kind of accidentally decided to like just start trying for the first time in my life at 35, and then I was like, oh, it's kind of better to try. I'm not like wasting.
It yields better results.
I'm not wasting my life, I'm not like fast forwarding to being dead.
But when you were wasting your life on Cumtown,
I wasn't. I mean,
you guys were still you were fairly successful. How much was that podcast bringing in at a certain point?
Yeah, but it was like I had to work 2 hours. I'm not talking about. Yeah, it's.
You're saying like the output.
I had to work 2 hours a week, and then I'd get like maybe 3 movies in a day, and then I've said this before, but then you'd have a girlfriend come home and she'd talk about her day and be like, I did a lot too today. Why is it always about you? I watched 3 movies actually. I started taking notes on movies to act like it was like I was working.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I was just like, and then then at a certain point you're a middle-aged man, and then you're like,
this isn't a life.
Yeah, but so then we kind of like started this talk show. We didn't really know how to do a TV. We very publicly stated we were going to make a TV show. We didn't know like cameras or anything, and we kind of built out this facsimile of the Dick Cavett show set.
It's a great set.
And then kind of I don't know, I started to enjoy it and want to get better, and then kind of try and figure out how to get better at it. And I found that I was like doing things that were like, oh, that's all right, you know.
What's
kind
the
of encouraged me to keep wanting to
going.
get better? Yeah.
What would you say your interview style is? Like, what did you learn when you were researching about it, and how did you come up with the way that you do these interviews?
At first, like, I did stand up, right? So like, there's no real like two-way interaction, right? It's like one way,
Yeah.
right? And then the only like interaction you have with the audience is like crowd work, which is kind of like this, like you make fun of someone. And so like,
So you can post it on Instagram?
yeah, exactly. And at first, like when I was doing interviews, I was kind of being a douchebag, I think, more. And then Nick actually gave me a really like, I think the most useful advice, where he's like, I don't understand like why you have this affect. And I was like, oh, here you go again, and criticize him. And then he's like, no, you're like he's like, you like are a nice guy, and you like make people feel nice to be around you. And like, I don't understand why you don't just do that. And I was like, oh, maybe I have to like figure out like what about me is good.
Well, but it's
like,
hard.
what do you do for a living? You're a kindergarten teacher? Oh, it sounds like you're a pedophile, you know? That's
also,
like, that's our only...
right. That's how you typically interact with the world.
That's what, well, that's, no, I don't walk around that way. No, that's just what stand-up training is. And then, I kind of like, I at first Googled journalism. I read the Wikipedia for journalism.
What'd you learn?
I don't know. It was
It's a pretty broad...
I think I was reading it and I was like, I knew all this crap already. Yeah, whatever. And then I was like, who's good at interviewing? So then I like watched like, I was like, well, Joe Rogan's very successful. And then what he does is like, I think he like, he'll like tend to agree with people. Cause like, you know, like he's like, he'll have like Bernie, and then he'll have like I don't know. Yeah, like member of the freaking like Panzer Brigade, and then he'll be like, "That's trippy." Like he'll agree, but then I think the guest feels like they're crushing.
Yeah.
The guest feels like, "Oh, I'm crushing right now. Like I'm convincing this person." So naturally, they like say more and more stuff, right?
Oh, so it relaxes them to reveal more.
I think that's kind of why that show is he's successful at that. But I can't really emulate that because I'm like naturally I sound like a sarcastic, like Jewish guy, like, you know, like it doesn't sound like
if you're gassing
I'm being
people
honest up. Yeah, it sounds like the guest will be like, are you fucking with me right now? So then I was like, okay, and I was like, well, Mark Maron's good, and I watched some of that, or I listened to some of that, and then his thing is that he's like he like talks about himself, like, you know, about like, you know, he makes things about himself, and so naturally that kind of disarms the guest. But I was like, I can't really, that's his thing. And he's really, you know, he's really good at that. And like, you know, starting stand up in Boston when I was addicted to cocaine, and the guest is like Dame Judi Dench. And she's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, and then I was like, and then I realized I listened to Howard a lot growing up. And so then I started watching a bunch of Howard, like old Howard interviews. And I've said this before, but like the thing he is so good at is like within the first 90 to 120 seconds, he's like your best friend, right? And he disarms you immediately.
Yeah.
And like he preys on you, and it'll be like, you know, you're a huge star, everyone wants a piece of you, and so I can't really emulate that because it sounds like I'm being sarcastic. So instead, I like modified it to like be in my own voice, which is like, I'll just like I'll just be self-deprecating. I'll be like, you're talking to a guy who pooped his pants on Cumtown. Like, you don't have to, like, I'm a schmuck. So like, you know, but naturally, like the guest will either have a choice to continue to be a know-it-all. He's like, which is like naturally people don't like that, or drop their guard and like open up a little bit. So.
Were you upset that your GQ profile opened with you?
I didn't read it.
Shitting your pants. You haven't read it. It's actually very generous. It's very nice.
I saw that. Well, it made me too nervous to read.
I couldn't read something like that about myself.
But people, I got added to my girlfriend's family's group chat, I guess,
That's a win.
No.
Thank you, GQ.
No, it sucks.
Oh,
now.
it got added or you got added?
They added me to the group chat
no.
now because I'm a proper member of society.
You're
So now
esteemed.
So now I have to be freaking. Does anyone want this free dresser? Now I have to know about that. No.
When you're doing questions,
Yeah.
how much are you improvising and how much is like?
Oh, I prepare a lot.
You prepare. Okay, so
Yeah.
famous question you asked Chris Cuomo about Dua Lipa.
I like Dua Lipa.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. My daughter is a
I
singer.
would let her-
And she would sing Dua Lipa. And I love what she does.
I don't know her
some people will
songs.
say, oh no, too sexy, it objectifies. But I'm telling you, I watched my daughter and her kind of resonating with the vibe, you know, and the empowerment principle of it.
I don't
But
know the songs.
I loved
but
it.
I would let her shit in my mouth, actually.
Where does that come from? Seriously. Where does it come
I don't
from?
know. It just came out. I don't know.
Where? Like, did you see that somewhere? Or
He was saying his
That
daughter.
was not planned.
Okay.
Yeah. That was just a magic moment.
But it is kind of a magic moment because
Yeah.
I think that's why people watch your interviews and other comedians' podcasts, because when you have someone like Chris Cuomo on, and it's not particularly interesting seeing them say the same thing for the 80th time, especially
Sure.
if you're consuming their whatever media they do or their show, watching their show. So to have them go on a show where they could be asked about Dua Lipa defecating in their mouth, which I think that was it.
Yeah, that's what came out.
Yeah.
That wasn't on the
But it
cards.
makes it more interesting, a show. Do you think that's part of the appeal of these?
I think that like the show is sometimes I think a little bit better when someone's trying to figure out what to make of me, you know.
I noticed that a lot.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of fun for me too, because like a lot of like the prep is like trying to figure out like what to expect, like what kind of person this is, right? Like, and like you know what's gonna piss them off and what's gonna what they'll respond to, and what like if there's something that they don't you feel like is off limits, it's like a cool like I mean you're a journo. It's cool to be like, how do I get there?
Right.
In a way where
How do I
it's
back
like,
into it?
instead of directly asking something, how do I lead it there? And it's fun. And like while you're doing it too, like you have to adjust on the fly, and it's like that part is fun. But I kind of like the editing and the prep more than the
Actual interview.
Yeah.
Were you nervous during the interview itself?
Not nervous, but sometimes like like we have like 3 guys in the room too, so like I'm used to stand up, so if something didn't get a pop, like I'll be like, what am I bombing in front of my own? I pay these people.
I actually wanted to ask you that because I
Yeah.
watch all these things on. I watch so many of these shows today. I don't like listen to the whole show, but I'll see like clips on
clips, yeah.
Instagram, which is like a
Yeah.
crazy way for us to consume news these days. And people laugh, like there's this producers like chuckling in the
Yeah.
back
On
like
our thing?
on your thing, on everyone's, like on Tim
Yeah.
Dillon's or whatever. Are they instructed? Do you tell them like laugh when there's a good
No.
joke? Okay.
No, but it's like I think it kind of makes it.
It makes it
more
way better
fun
because
yeah.
it means it's like when there's an actual really funny, and it helps the guest out too. I think a little bit
and
to
it's
know
a
what's
little bit,
happening.
I guess like a studio audience. I mean, if you relate it to like late night, like that feels like there is an applause
Yeah.
sign. Like instead, this feels like these are like the 23-year-old camera operators that are like get like just like sitting there for like doing like a day rate and
Right.
and they're like if they're liking it, it's kind of it makes it more like present or fun.
Yeah, and there's a little bit more community to it too, I feel.
Yeah, it's
knowing
like-
that somebody's
yeah,
there.
a little goofy.
Yeah. Do you think it's a problem, politically, culturally, whatever, that everyone now gets their information, it seems, or a lot of their information from short form video or podcasts or, people like Steiny, who you had on your...
Does he give information to people?
I found out who he was from your show, but
Yeah.
I feel like those, like a lot of people probably the only Trump interview that they watched was the Nelk Boys interview.
It probably like got him votes.
It probably got him votes.
Yeah.
Do you think that's
The 3
is
Trump
that something that like disturbs you? That
I don't know. I think it's probably smart for Trump to do the Nelk.
no, I mean the fact that that Americans get all of their news from short form video now and podcasters.
I don't know, it disturbs me. I want to be careful of myself, like not to like speak in a way that I'm not qualified to speak. Like that bothers me. That's like, you know, I don't know about freaking, like I had Ray O'Connor on, like what's the value of me saying like, well, in HR 273, you know, like I'm not gonna talk. I'm not a wonk, you know, and also I'm not qualified to be talking about that stuff. I'm a freaking nightclub comedian.
You have some political experience, you know?
Well,
Did you study Middle Eastern studies or something?
Yeah, but what the fuck is the value of that? What, like, in 2009 I graduated. My degree was pre-Arab Spring. Literally everything I learned was like
Irrelevant within 2 years.
well, it's still the liberal arts, so it's like every book that we would read would be like, what happens next? We'll see, you know. And then like the Arab Spring happened, and I was like, oh, so my entire degree I didn't really learn anything. I mean, I don't know. I've always liked politics, and I guess it's like I have my own opinions, right? So like I'm, you know, I feel fine speaking to that. But like when Ro Khanna came on, I feel comfortable asking him like, hey, like, you know, like no one likes the government now, and like, but you're in the government, like, why do you want to be in the government? Yeah. Like in a simple sense, like I can speak to that, but I'm not gonna like, I'm not freaking Anderson Cooper. So like,
well, I think that's true. That's why a lot of these shows, when there's a comedian hosting, or even, you know, a YouTuber hosting, will focus on the personal with people. Like Theo Von telling Trump about doing coke.
Yeah.
Like Theo Von's not going to ask Trump about repealing DACA.
That was really funny.
That was genuinely funny.
Yeah. It's it's hard stuff. What did he say? What did Trump
He
say?
said it's really tough stuff.
It's hardcore. Yeah.
Theo Von said like it's got you acting like an
Trump's
owl
like
or something.
a teetotaler, right? He's a
full teetotaler. His brother was a
Fred
drunk.
Jr. Yeah. It destroyed his brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie?
I did. I went to a screening of it.
I thought it was great.
I was shocked by how good it is because
I thought it was going to be terrible, and it's awesome.
Because it's really difficult to not make an embarrassing, gimmicky, resistance-y Trump movie, I think. And they did not do that at all. They did a really, really good job.
Well, yeah, he didn't. The performance wasn't like it wasn't like an Alec Baldwin, like he wasn't doing the shtick. So, but
it wasn't exaggerated.
He captured the character, but he wasn't doing an impression, which I thought was great. And then Roy Cohn is just like, as a character,
the greatest character of all time
in American history. He's like, I mean, Angels in America, like that scene where he's dying, and then the ghost of Ethel Rosenberg comes, and then he like fakes it. He's like, like
is that Pacino and
Meryl Streep is like, it's the best acting ever. Yeah. But he's just like, he's such a fucking psychopath, fascinating maniac figure in American history.
Do you like talking about politics from your position? Because I feel like now Americans, by and large, especially of a certain age, are getting their news from podcasters and commentators.
Yeah.
And do you think that's too much political responsibility being placed on the shoulders of people like that?
Yeah, that's why I want to be careful not to like
wade into it too much.
Well, not to say some shit that I have no authority in saying, right? Yeah. Like I can speak to. Listen, I've lived in America my whole life, and I can see that there's a cultural malaise. There's like, this is the most bummed out people have been since I was a kid. You know, that's an experience that I can, you know, kind of like wade into, like with a.
Why do you think that is? Is it the internet?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's a series of events, right? Like it's like in my lifetime, I'm like 38. It was like 9/11, then 08, and then COVID.
Very little economic opportunity.
Well, yeah, and that I think that like a lot of people are probably just the internet certainly has a big part to play. Like I think people are just spend a lot of time alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard you talking about this on Chris Cuomo's podcast.
On his podcast, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like stressed. That was a stressful.
You guys really got into it.
What does he ask? He's asking me what's going to happen with Iran. When I went on,
well, this is the point. The people you were asked.
He was asking me what's going to happen with Elon and Trump, and then I had to.
You said that they were.
I said they were in pain.
That was really.
What are you asking me this for?
I'm not asking you. I'm asking you about being asked about it.
Him. Yeah, obviously. No, but like, I want to be careful in that regard, like, because I see other comedians popping off, and I'm like, how the fuck do you know about any of this shit?
Yeah.
Right? But on the other hand, like, the responsibilities aspect is like, I don't know, just more people are watching Joe than watching, you know, Anderson Cooper.
Right.
So it's just like it's probably 10 times more people every day.
Where do you get your news from? Do you watch cable news at all?
I get basically a briefing from Israel every day.
Really?
Yeah,
The Mossad?
Yeah, fax. We use faxes still.
Wow.
Yeah, no. Where do I get my news? I don't know. Like from I read the New York Times, I guess, and I don't know, just the normal places. But sometimes
I'm not attacking you. I just want to know where you're, what's
the
fun
thing that
fueling your
bothers
brain.
me, and I've mentioned this before, is like I've said this on the show, and I think in an interview before, but like I got called gay for liking politics. I cried at school when Bush stole the election, and someone was like, "You're gay," and it was like now everyone likes politics, and it's like it should go back to like something that's like for losers, right?
I think
And
the rise of like Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, a lot of people that should have been bullied more when they were younger, that really scares me.
Do you think that people are like getting into politics because they're nerds?
Well, the fact that nerds are running the world.
But Bill Gates was a nerd, right?
Yeah, but Bill Gates didn't have half as much of the power that Elon Musk and Peter Thiel have.
Politically, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Elon Musk was
Probably did, but
unprecedented.
They probably did, but they shut the fuck up about it. You know what I mean?
Right. They kept quiet and just donated money.
I think the point of being rich is like, yeah, you're not.
It would be lovely to not have to go on Twitter.
If I was rich, if I was the richest man in the world, I'd be a ghost. You wouldn't know my name. I'd be like freaking. I wouldn't be trying to be big on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's the weird part.
That's
It's like,
crazy to me.
Rich people are supposed to like just back both sides, and then whoever wins is going to do
They profit.
buy influence. Yeah, like it's a little bit like like I guess that I wouldn't say it's like a nerd that should be bullied. It feels like I don't know, maybe it does, but that's on the other hand, it's like let's just be like look at Zuckerberg. Like they were like really worried about the fake news during COVID. They had all these fact checkers. That he had that congressional hearing, and then his stock price plummeted, and then he got muscles and a chain.
And now he's pretending like he was forced to do all those
But
things.
it's just for his company. Like it's just like no. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just about a share price. I mean, I don't really think that it's like about him needing to have been bullied. He's just it's kind of probably in this day and age what you have to do for your company.
Right.
Is get muscles and a chain.
Yeah.
It's probably you have to learn MMA.
I mean, yeah, a lot of them are.
You have to get into which is like I don't know. I mean, it's smarter than like what the other side has been doing, which is like we got Oprah and we paid her like $100 million, even though
For a 5-minute Kamala Harris interview.
And it's just like, yeah, it's smarter to go on the Nelk Boys than that.
Has Trump's win made it easier for you to book guests because people like Ro Khanna see the
Probably.
value of coming on a show like yours?
Well, I think he emailed me, I guess, after the election. That I do think it's like legitimized the platform. Yeah, it's definitely like asking people to do the internet 3 years ago was a way. It was a really difficult like sell, and now it's probably now seen as more legitimate like media.
Yeah.
So thank you, President Trump. You're the man.
So one thing I wanted to ask you about your interview with Chris Cuomo. You guys got into it on a couple of things.
Which one? The
The
Adam Friedland
podcast
show?
interview. He called you
I haven't listened to it.
He called you a self-loathing Jew, which I didn't know is something that Gentiles could throw around.
And that was like before the election for his bro too. So like that's driving me nuts right now.
Why?
Like I was on a show and like Andrew Yang was telling me about what anti-Semitism was. It's just like it's absurd to me. The annoying thing is like I have like Jewish friends that live here too, and all of our parents won't stop calling us because they think it's like the Warsaw Ghetto in New York.
Because of Zoran, or
Because the news tells them that it's
Right.
like there's mobs of murderers.
Columbia is
It's New York City. It's like it's a nice place where like they're nice restaurants. No one's killing Jewish people in New York. It's still it's still the Jew. I mean, this is the real Jewish. I mean, like, but in reality, it's like, I guess maybe it didn't work as much in the primary because like you can't tell people that actually live here that it is like what they're saying on the news, right? Because we actually live here.
Well, because Cuomo's campaign was that the city is a crime-infested anti-Semitic hellscape. And it's like, go outside.
No one's ever I've never had a fundamentalist Muslim terrorist give me any crap in New York City. What do you like? It's just, I think it's, like, yeah, if anything, the only people I have problems with in New York, and I'm fine saying this publicly, are the Hasids. The traffic is terrible. They just stop in the middle of the road. What are you? Have you tried driving through South Williamsburg?
I have not in a while.
It's infuriating.
Do you? Has that been a?
Is that anti-Semitic? I guess I'm being anti-Semitic.
No.
Learn how to learn. Just be like it's rude. It's rude to be just like a gridlock parking in the middle of the road. No, I'm doing a bit.
We hereby apologize to the South Williamsburg Hasids.
I don't.
Has that been a regular problem, a recurring problem, being Jewish and being told that unless you are supportive of the state of Israel, which is obviously a foreign country, that you are anti-Semitic by people who are not Jewish,
Cuomo?
or just anyone in New York? Like, is that something that bothers you, that you hear about a lot?
I think that what I will say is like complaining about a college student protesting us giving $25 billion to a war is just like it kind of the term anti-Semitic loses its meaning. It's not good for Jewish people. Like, it's like it's what if like it's the most normal. I mean, and also I think I said this to Cuomo, but like in the 60s and 70s they were saying that they're pro VC. Now they're saying they're pro like Hamas. It's like they're acting as if it's unprecedented, and it's like it's not true.
Right.
They firebombed university buildings in the 70s.
They took over Columbia. They fully.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like they're acting as if Hamas is sending like 19-year-old kids to be like the sleeper cells. It's just like it makes no sense. It's like and it also is just it's I think the way Zoran's been treated probably is it just makes it seem like Jewish people are racist. I'll say it. And I guess some of them are. I don't know.
I do think that
he's just Muslim, right?
He is just Muslim. Yeah.
He's just Muslim.
He's like a Muslim Bronx science kid.
Yeah,
he's from Queens. He could not be more in New York.
He went to like Wesleyan or something, and
Bowdoin.
Bowdoin. He went to that one, and then he started rapping.
Yeah.
He's just
it's like more hilarious than Sarah Lawrence.
He's not like Osama bin Laden.
No.
It's like
not yet. Wait till he's mayor.
Being treated that way, and it's terrible to see that.
And it does strike me like if you start trying to cast any criticism of a foreign country doing bad things as anti-Semitic, you're going to encourage anti-Semitism more than you're going to tamp it down.
The only times I've ever experienced anti-Semitism is on the internet. People say things to me, and it's never from Muslim people. It's from people on the other side. It's like, yeah, it's just like, I mean, also just like I've been in public for, and on the internet long enough that it's just like. Yeah.
You've gotten in trouble before.
Well, I got in trouble about the anti-Semitism thing.
What anti-Semitism?
I got in trouble with Chelsea Clinton once.
But another Gentile who has accused you of anti-Semitism.
She didn't. Well, it was because Ilhan Omar criticized AIPAC, right? Which is like a lobbying organization, right? And she said it's all about the Benjamins, and they said that is an age-old trope.
Right, a trope.
And so, and everyone was like piling on her, And so I made a mean joke about, because Chelsea Clinton was like lecturing, AOC was even joining in on it, right? It's all about the Benjamins. Is that like, it's not like the Nuremberg protocols. It's talking about how a lobbying organization uses money to, it's like the oil industry. It's like any other, and sorry, I'm getting pissed off. This is like 9 years ago too.
No, but around that time, we did get very, very sensitive about that. It's like the 2020 hysteria around speech. There were a lot of things that you could not say, and people got very
Yeah, anyway, so
about
I
it.
did a joke, and then Chelsea Clinton quote tweeted me, and then she's like, I'm a Jewish comedian, so we do self-deprecating humor. So I said Chelsea, I should have,
We can put the tweet up. Pretty big.
Dad, I'm sorry about. I apologized multiple times. He's like, why would you talk that way? I said she's not even Jewish. She's just ugly. Which I'm calling ourselves. I'm ugly because I'm. Anyway, it was a mean thing.
Right.
Okay, but it was just a stupid tweet, and then she quote tweeted it, and then my avatar is Chris Bosch, and then so like people were like saying like, you know, like, she's not ugly, like, you're ugly, like, look how ugly you are. And it was pictures
People were dunking on Chris Bosch.
Yeah, Chris Bosch got in trouble. Geraldo was like, he was like, you fucking,
Geraldo Rivera?
Yeah, he got mad at me. He was like, you fucking asshole, Adam, you're a schmuck. And like, I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Chris Bosch notes app apology.
Chris Bosch, I'm sorry if you're watching, okay? You're a hell of a 4, okay? No, I mean,
Does getting in trouble matter anymore? Because
I
there was a
kinda
time where
like,
people, it
I
would
don't
really
care.
affect people.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
think
could-
it does still, right? But like, for
But you
me,
could actually get canceled for a hot second there. I don't think you can anymore.
yeah, but I think that there is like, the internet is just people like just trying to destroy one another, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, but that kind of thing happens. Then I realized it was like, it's just fake. Like it's
Right.
just Twitter.
What was that Tyler the Creator tweet that was like,
Just
how is
turn off-
cyberbullying
yeah.
real? Just turn off the
Yeah,
computer.
just like, I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, I just have too much work to.
Oh, so are you offline?
I look at like stuff now, but Twitter's scary.
Twitter post, it's gotten a little bit better, but there was a time where it was just, for me, it was just like
It's the
videos
Holocaust
of
didn't
migrants.
happen, and then murder.
Migrant murder for me was
You
a
can
while.
see people getting killed.
Yeah.
And then just
Straight
penis
Nazi.
going in, just like hardcore unedited pornography.
I never gotten that. That might be your algorithm.
It's on there, and I'm like, it's Sodom and Gomorrah.
I got a lot of Nazis.
Yeah,
Like, straight up.
Anne Frank wrote the diary in ballpoint pen. I saw
Is that
that.
a conspiracy theory that went around?
I guess they didn't have ballpoint pens.
Okay.
Maybe she invented the ballpoint pen.
You've been having, at least in this season of the show, some fairly online people. There was Steiny. Oh, by the way, the watch you got him?
You really crossed out everything, bro.
Well, no, that's the branding. You didn't have to tear that actually, but
Dude,
I know.
I've never actually seen one of these.
Yeah, I know. Dude, $400,000.
Richard Mille, or what is this?
Yeah, it is. It's a Richard Mille.
Dude, you're the man. Appreciate that. No
Seriously.
one's ever gifted me anything like this.
Really?
Nah. Steve gave me a Richard Mille last week.
Really?
Swear to God.
I'm sorry, dude.
You bought him a Richard Mille watch.
That was $400,000.
Yeah. So where did you buy a fake Richard Mille watch, and did he ever call you out
It
for
was
it?
on Amazon. I got it for
You bought a real Richard Mille watch on Amazon?
for $40. And fake.
Did he know? Because in the
Well, that's
interview,
like-
I don't think you ever reveal.
I think he probably played along. I don't
Okay.
know.
He seemed
I
flattered.
didn't think about it.
Okay.
Afterwards, but yeah, I was like, well, because Aidan Ross gave Trump a Tesla, I was like, these kind of guys, like, they get a nice gift, which is, you know what, it's good manners.
Oh, I think it's very good manners to buy a
great.
guest a
It's
gift.
great. I didn't get shit for this.
Yeah, I didn't get you. Oh, and I got you Pellegrino. I asked you for your rider. You didn't give me anything. Or whoever I emailed.
No one communicated
told
that
you?
to me.
I said, what's Adam's rider? I was willing to get you anything you wanted. And they said just a water.
I want a flight to Mexico, and
When are you off from your show, from your season?
I don't know.
You don't. Oh, you're going to keep going. There's no set
We
end
have
date?
like a backlog of interviews, so like we can like kind of have a buffer, and then we're still booking interviews on a rolling basis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How do you build an audience for a show like that? Because I understand how you built an audience for Come Down, which I imagine was hard because the name made it difficult. But it was like basically short form video, people putting compilations together on Reddit.
I think
right?
it was the fans were doing it for us.
Yeah.
We didn't know. Yeah.
When it comes to the new show, you have no idea how you built an audience.
I just, if it's good, I mean, I just want to make sure it's good. Mm-hmm. I can't like, I don't know. Hopefully, if it's good, more people will watch it. I don't know.
That's true. But you have to like distribute it to them.
What? It's on YouTube.
Okay, so it's YouTube and like short clips and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Is
I
that how
have someone that does that.
you have a guy that does that?
I can't.
But this is your livelihood. You must know how you get.
Like people like it. No, I only think about it in the sense that like if we get like bigger and bigger guests,
Right.
that's all kind of something that I think.
Who's your white whale?
Meghan McCain.
Why is that?
Slow for.
You a big Meghan McCain fan?
No, I don't know white whale. I would just like I would love like Barack Obama or something. Or,
Obama would be good.
He wouldn't do it.
He might if he's a fan. Do you know if he's a fan?
What? Yes. Yeah.
You never know.
That would be so funny.
Obama would be a good guest.
I want to know if he's miserable.
I can't
Can you imagine like he was so young when he was the president. Now he's just in Martha's Vineyard.
It's a nice house.
Yeah, but like, what does he do? He must be like, what am I doing with my life?
He's got a Netflix deal. I think that's mostly what he's
Does
doing.
that feel good for Obama to be doing Netflix?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. And then also the world's gone crazy after him.
Right, and there's not much because people.
And he probably is like,
Democrats really
is it my fault? Yeah.
Democrats really want him to do something about that, but I don't think there is much he can do. So
I don't know.
He's kind of caught.
Yeah, it's just it's probably boring and then he has to wonder like did I do something wrong? And maybe like he thinks he did or
Blames himself for that White House Correspondents' Dinner
well, I mean
roast. That's when Trump decided to run for president, allegedly, according to the lore.
I think that's maybe not 100%.
You're just defending comedy. You don't want comedy to be the reason that Trump was elected president.
He was renegotiating with Jeff Zucker for The Apprentice.
Possibly.
And that's why everyone at the announcement was paid to be there.
Yeah.
He just wanted to like
He had paid
like,
fans.
Yeah, he wanted to be like he wanted more money for the next season of Apprentice.
Right.
And then he accidentally became the president. It's the funniest thing that's ever happened. It's so insane.
People disagree with me a lot about the extent to which it was accidental. I really truly believe that every single step of the way was a total stumble.
I mean,
into the presidency.
The Comey letter, Weiner is like
Weiner reopening the Hillary Clinton investigation a week before the election.
Yeah, Weiner
because he was
setting his penis to a minor. Yeah. Or illicit photo, allegedly.
Speaking of,
I don't know.
Show renewals, not Weiner sending pictures. What's the business model for the show? How does it make money and because you put a lot of money into it, right? Didn't you? You said you sank like $150,000 into that show.
Probably more, but like that's fine. I mean, like we used to fund it through our podcast and Patreon, and then we kind of like the goal was to stop podcasting. So like I needed to find a way to like break those two things, like separate those two things because I was just sick. Nick and I were both sick of, podcasting. And so I kind of like over like 4.5 months, like went into pre-production, then kind of organized what the business model is, and it's ad integrations, and it's there's like a subscriber thing we have on YouTube now.
Were you surprised by the reception that the new season has had? Because I feel like it's a lot more, it's a lot buzzier than, I mean, the show was all like, you had pretty viral interviews. I watched a lot of them, but this season feels like you've achieved a level above that, what you were doing.
I think people just want content, right? That's consistent. So like, I knew that like I had to like kind of find a way to do it weekly, right? And so that's why we kind of went dark for 4 months, so I can like have a backlog of interviews, and so that I would have like kind of a buffer zone. Because previously we finished an episode and then we're like, what's the next one? And then we're
Which
like,
is weekly
Subway.
is really hard to do.
Yeah, so I was like, we have to like kind of have like if I have like 10 interviews in the can, that's like 2.5 months of content, and then I can like kind of, we're not going to be screwed over, but maybe we will. I
Yeah.
don't know. Who knows? I'm just kind of faking it.
I mean, it's a Dick Cavett style talk show.
It's the stupid. I don't understand how it's happening.
So
But I'm glad you like it.
I love it. I'm a big fan. Lastly, so that we have a usable social media clip, my producer has put together a quick fire round of questions.
Okay.
This is how you do podcasts these days.
All right.
Where is your favorite place to get dinner in New York City?
Bar Oliver. My friend.
You're plugging a friend. First quick fire
My
question.
girlfriend's brother has an amazing restaurant.
Where is it?
downtown. Like downtown. So it's by Dim Sum Go Go.
I don't even know where that is.
They have
Like
great
Chinatown?
steak. Great steak. The Wagyu Phenom.
Wagyu. All right.
All right.
Who do you hate follow?
Hey, follow. Like I've stalked multiple people in my life. You know. I've
No.
multiple
On-
court orders against.
On social media.
Hate, follow. I don't really. Who do I hate? I don't get really pissed at like.
You don't get
people do.
angry.
I mean, people are crazy, but like
You're
like,
not following them.
I'm not like Like,
That's healthy.
It's just like people. I've said this before, but like people spend 8 hours a day like yelling at like the Secretary of Agriculture for $0. Like the internet's made people so insane, and it's just like I don't like. I guess I don't I try not to engage with it because I just have to make the stupid show that I do.
What's your favorite scandal?
Scandal ever?
Yeah. All-time scandal.
That's a good question. Well done. What's a good one? There has to be a great answer. I mean, I don't know if it was a scandal, but there's this guy that was like falsely accused of murdering 2 people.
O.J. Simpson?
Orenthal James Simpson. What did you say? OJ?
You don't know him by O.J.?
I know Orenthal
Orenthal.
James.
I
Simpson.
did not know his name was Orenthal
Yeah.
James.
Now we'll go with what do you say? OJ?
O.J. Simpson.
Like juice.
Yeah, that would be a great nickname for him.
Like yeah. Oh
Because he really had the juice.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I know him from. He was in
Naked Gun?
Naked Gun. Yeah.
Classic.
He's very clumsy. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why he was falsely accused of murder, because he might have just yeah. And they were like, that guy's.
I'm shocked they didn't go with that defense.
That's what Johnny Cockroach.
Yeah.
Have you seen like Exhibit A? And he's like with Leslie.
This man can't hold a knife.
Guys, there's nothing funny. There's nothing funny about that. I'm sorry.
Deepest fear.
Dying. Easy.
Where do you get your suits? I added this one.
The first was my dad's, and then I copied it.
Oh, you had it made.
I had it facsimiled.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of expensive getting a suit custom made like that, right?
I had
Facsimile
it
in New York.
I got a discount.
Oh, nice.
Someone I know worked at a suit place, and they're like, and I got 50% off.
What is
for
your
being a celebrity?
What's your favorite album of all time?
Ooh, I don't know. Probably if you had Time Out of Mind, Bob Dylan. That's my favorite Bob. I don't know if is it my favorite or what's the best album.
Your favorite?
This is the kind of stuff I think about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I like side B of Tattoo You, Phenom. Some of the best music ever. Yes, also the second side of Abbey Road, the Golden Slumbers medley.
Golden Slumbers.
Kind of the best song ever.
It's really good.
I talked about it with Fantano. I like songs and movies.
Yeah. Favorite
What's
movie?
the best song ever?
Yeah, best song ever.
Wider Shade of Pale.
Whiter Shade of Pale.
Might be. Heroes.
Heroes is good.
Heroes. could
R.I.P.
be. He died?
And the Heroes.
This is how I'm finding
I'm
out.
breaking
David
this to
Bowie died.
you. Bowie got cooked. Last one. Favorite interview you've ever done?
I liked Chet Hanks. That was my favorite one.
Are you guys still in touch?
Yeah. He only FaceTimes though.
Of course he does.
Yeah. You know what is? I'll give you an exclusive.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You know what his voicemail is?
What?
It's hello. Hello. Psych! I'm not here right now. He has that voicemail from middle school.
I had that.
Yeah. From
My dad hated
when
it.
you got your own line in the house. I got my own like phone line,
Yeah.
landline, and then I had that.
I had it on my Nokia brick, and it was.
And my dad
flipped
Yeah,
out.
yeah. It got him every fucking time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. Ha
Adam Friedland, thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
How was this? Good?
This was fun.